Decades ago, films were made so vile, so depraved and desensitizing, that the ever so defensive moral guardians of the United Kingdom vowed that they would never see wide release to protect the precious populace. In their fervor, however, they did not realize that by taking them away, the films would become even more infamous and even further spread. They are the video Nasties, and this is Schlock and Terror, where your host shall guide you through each one of the brand films. The films discussed are not for the faint of heart, and do contain disturbing scenarios and moments, so if that is too much for you, do yourself a favor, and stop playing now.
Everyone, welcome to Schlock and Terror.
Hello, and greetings once again from us.
Happy afternoon.
Now, before I talk about the film we just watched today, I forgot to mention something in the last video, the actual order we're going this by, because it's not simply alphabetical order. It goes by sections, alphabetical order, like Part 1 of Section 2, as in the sections of the Obscene Publications Act of 1959 that they used to prosecute these films, because apparently if they deprave anyone, then they're considered prosecutable.
Good God.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Yeah, Part 1 of Section 2, video Nasties, the ones we're looking at the moment, they're the ones that people got prosecuted for. Like, say someone has, let's say someone, a VHS rental place owner was renting out or selling copies of Absurd. They would either get fined $20,000 or pounds, I forgot which, or go to jail for 2 years max.
Good Jesus. Well, so who was it? What was our latest?
Wait, not yet. I'm not done yet. Sorry.
Of course, my bad.
Sorry. Should have continued right after that. Then there's Part 2 of Section 2, the prosecutable ones, but they weren't successfully prosecuted. Like, say, 2 juries didn't agree on one movie, so that was the reason why the list was actually stopped for one reason, because they couldn't agree exactly, so...
Well, I suppose that would cause a lot of problems if they can't agree on what to prosecute.
And of course the distributors actually succeeded in the trial and such. Stuff like that. Some movies that they didn't successfully prosecute, the survivors. Then...
Survivors?
Yeah, you'd have to... Like, there'd be survivors from having watched movies. Because this is just... Yeah.
Then there's the Section 3 video Nasties, which were the ones that are not prosecutable, but apparently are obscene enough to be seized and burned.
Yeah, because, that doesn't sound at all like Nazi Germany. Quick, burn all the books and the movies and everything!
So that's where your uncle's sex tape went.
Oh, yeah. I saw it, I had to watch it and then just burnt it, because no.
Wait, did you burn it, or did you burn it to another disc?
Burnt it to a disc, dude. You know me.
In fact... Oh, wait, no, okay.
As it turns out, I was in it.
And then...
But anyway.
And after that is the unofficial video Nasties, the ones that contributed to the moral panic, like Halloween 4 or Child's Play 3. Apparently people got really upset about those.
Yeah, there were a fair few people complaining about it. And it's surprising nowadays, because they were quite big. Like, your Child's Play, Chucky was quite an iconic horror character.
Yeah.
Same with, your Halloween, Michael Myers was huge. Everyone recognised him.
Yeah, but these were the sequels.
True.
It's one of the stuff I see these days online, where all these people are like, oh no, if you watch such and such thing with this problematic thing, you're part of the problem, you can't do that. And they're trying to censor artists.
Yeah, I mean,
portraying it as like whatever happened to artistic vision. I mean, sure, it's messed up, but you control what you consume and that sort of crap.
Dude,
Yeah.
if you
Watch
want
messed
to,
up stuff, you can watch messed up stuff.
with the internet, you can seek out what you want to see. Like, you're not affecting anyone else.
Well, if it's
with-
child pornography,
well,
you are.
Okay, child pornography is bad. We all understand this, and quite
Anything else
frankly,
online, maybe not.
and quite frankly, that's the only good thing that White House was. She was against that and managed to stop that. That was the only good thing she's done. The rest, she's just homophobic,
Stop is
annoying.
Maybe she's done something else that's better, I don't know. Maybe she tipped a waitress.
it's
don't know.
possible, but either way,
Every little thing.
pedophilia is not a good thing by any stretch of the imagination. Anyone who supports it should probably jump off a bridge.
You could I find it really funny because it's like, they ban all these movies, but they still take like some countries they still have like child pornography. And it's like, but you're banning these terrible horror movies.
Yeah, because the horror movies are what's screwing everyone up, obviously. Like, we've just been silly us. It's just the horror, that's what's corrupting everyone.
Yeah, but what I mean by those sequels is that there's been news stories attached, like they've been used to blame for certain crimes.
Yeah.
So there's like Doom and some of those.
Yeah, and like Slipknot got blamed a while back for like a heavy metal suicide in like Iowa. Yeah.
And then finally, the unofficial ones that been just movies that have been seized by accident.
Yeah.
Like that's the reason. That's the reason why the list was created, because the police kept getting the wrong movies.
Jeez.
Star Wars gets banned.
And
Oh my god, no.
It's a horror movie. Too bad.
It's corrupting the children. They might dream of going to space. We can't have that.
Apocalypse Now was one of them.
Serious?
Yeah.
Apocalypse, to be fair, I
mean to
love
watch
that movie so much, simply because that's the movie with, of course, the iconic quote, "I love the smell of napalm in the morning."
The whole movie's that whole era is controversial.
Well, yes. But anyway, what
was I gonna say? I went blank for a sec.
Something about the
we-
unofficial list and the official list.
Now I remember.
Yeah,
They still kept getting movies by accident once the list was established. Because cops were stupid.
Someone apparently did not pass the list.
I've never heard a more accurate depiction of the police than the Dead Kennedys song "Police Truck."
Oh.
Seriously, go give that a listen, and seriously, that's the cops all over.
Yeah. Okay, back to the actual thing we're going to talk about.
Okay, back to the movie that we quote-unquote had to watch.
Anthropophagous the Beast, aka the Grim... Anthropophagous the Beast, aka just Anthropophagous, aka the Grim Reaper, aka Anthropophagous the Grim Reaper, aka Man-Eater, aka Savage Island, aka the Zombies Rage, aka Man-Beast, and... aka Zombie 7 Grim Reaper.
AKA a completely shite movie.
Yeah, aka a complete hot bucket of wet shit. Right, now that that's out of the way.
It was Joe DiMatto's first straight horror film, apparently the predecessor to Absurd.
So he directed it, did he?
Yeah, he directed it, and
You see,
they're somehow connected. I don't know how.
I don't see. I don't think directed would be the right word. Maybe shat out, possibly. I mean, it's just from having watched it, it was just a very confusing and mind-numbingly terrible movie.
It was like some of those easy papers you get where you just like, stuff it, that'll do.
Yeah, pretty much. It's just loads of bullshit. It did not make much sense. I mean...
Like, for one thing, the killer, the cannibal, the Anthropophagous in this movie, Dave again.
Good old Dave.
He returns, but it's more like the zombie than his successor.
And yet, in the successor movie, he was meant to be a zombie, whereas this time he's just a crazy cannibal, so...
Yeah.
His skin was
You've got it completely wrong, mate.
They reversed it, and it was just confusing.
His skin just looks so damn rotten.
Yeah, it's like he just
He doesn't exfoliate.
Obviously,
his face
guys,
is so terrifying they made it the cover of the VHS tape.
But
It's not even
yeah,
that terrifying.
there were certain scenes in this movie, and I'm sure you guys had it too, where I was just left speechless at the atrocity of it. Just what is going on here?
Yeah. Okay, the movie begins with a German couple.
And
With
their
the-
dog.
They're really old fat dog.
Klaus the Wiener Schnitzel Man.
Yes, that was it.
And the German woman goes swimming, like you do.
As you do. You know, you're at the beach, you want a nice day out, let's go swimming.
And it looks very cloudy day, though. You really want to swim on that day.
Well,
Sure,
let's
it's
face it,
cloudy.
nobody in this movie had made very good decisions, so...
Yeah, pretty much.
This is
Like
the
those
least
headphones.
Oh, good
Those-
God.
those-
Yeah,
Okay.
the other German guy, just laid back with his wireless headphones, apparently.
Yeah, because, you know, they existed in the 80s.
Maybe they
Poss-
did. They're just really chunky.
I doubt it. Dude, headphones in general were really chunky in the 80s. They absolutely had wires.
And for some reason, the German woman decided, I'm gonna swim to this empty boat.
And somehow she just dies.
Well,
Out of nowhere.
she was pulled down.
Yeah, basically the Jaws theme should have played and that would have made more sense.
I think it kind of did, like a messed up version of it.
Yeah, just a terrible rip-off of the Jaws theme.
And
Yes, she was violently killed in an explosion of orange dust. Because that was
Being
not
our
blood,
lads.
I don't care what you think.
So I nicknamed her Agent Orange.
Agent Orange, yes, that was it. So Agent Orange had been killed by this point.
And then the German guy got killed. This big butcher's knife, and you see the camera reflected in it.
Oh, yeah, the camera work was a bit shoddy there. Could have tried
Or
harder.
the next bit was the whole... Is it a gondola? Or a... What are they called? The things on the...
Oh, yeah, the cable car scene.
That's it.
Oh, anyway, I was going to say that the butcher's knife went down on his head, and
Oh, yeah.
plasticine stuck to it.
Yeah, that was obviously not a human head.
Yeah,
the
they
special effects department and
They have
budget for this
the
movie.
cable car scene next, and it's just like, you can see reflections of the camera and everything inside the window. And
Yeah.
It's just like...
And we have our
Okay.
cast, just hippie tourists and a
Generic-
pregnant woman. That's all we can say because.
Literally.
They can't
it
even
was-
speak their own language in sync with their mouth movements.
Oh,
They were
it's the
the
best.
most-
It's okay. I can forgive the dubbing a bit because that's what Italy did for a while. Just dub everything.
Sometimes I can accept dubbing being terrible, but at the same time, there's no excuse for having such just mind-numbingly boring characters.
No.
They were just generic, and like you're sitting there as if it's like, what were you thinking? Like you can't describe these characters.
We kept
It's a
mixing up.
pregnant lady, and that's about it.
That's literally it.
We
Red
kept,
sweater, I don't know.
we kept mixing up the characters.
Yeah, we literally couldn't keep track of who was still alive at some point, which made the ending really confusing.
What I can't forgive about the dialogue, though, is that I can forgive the dubbing. What I can't forgive, though, is how they speak. They mumbled a lot.
No, that was terrible.
We literally, we were actively trying to listen and see what they were saying, and it just came out like...
Boring mumble, boring mumble. Blah, blah,
Yeah,
blah,
pretty
blah.
much. I think at one point I compared them to the Skeksis from the Dark Crystal. Simply because that was the screaming, though, when the murderer eventually did rock up, because he took his sweet bloody time.
And the tourists took their time getting here, too.
Better late than never.
Yeah, we do. If you are going to watch this movie, I hope you enjoy really boring walking and boat scenes.
It's full of hipsters, basically.
Yeah, after the Germans, they just go around Greece for a while. Like, at some point, we even see some Greek guards in traditional garb with the cotton buds on their shoes.
They
Oompa-Loompas.
literally look like militarized Oompa Loompas.
Willy Wonka's taken over the world.
We messed up, guys.
He's invading the Middle East.
We angered Willy Wonka. We never should have done this.
He wants their chocolate
But
fillers.
apparently, that's kind of what that's what they actually wore. So sorry.
I thought you were going to say what they
Yeah,
actually
I
did.
mean, I can understand it's a cultural thing. Personally, I find it hilarious. Then again, I'm from
shoes.
England, and I find literally the yeoman outfit and the dudes with the big funny hats that guard Buckingham Palace, they look ridiculous as well.
Oh yeah, those guys.
Yeah, those guys.
And they try to make sure that we know it's Greece with those guys and the Greek
Does
flag.
anyone actually speak Greek in this movie, though? Although
No.
I don't speak Greek, so I don't know.
Yeah, they
No.
spoke German at the start for some reason, even
Just-
though they were in Greece.
But I can see Deutsch.
I think it was just German tourists, like on honeymoon or something. But the Italian actors are
expect on
supposed to be American, or at least I think most of them are Italian.
Well,
Because
they certainly
Joe DiMaggio-
appeared that way, yeah.
They didn't sound like they spoke proper Italian or
But yeah,
Dubbing.
they spoke
English.
in the rare time that you could make out what they were saying, they sounded like the most fake-sounding American tourists on the planet.
And they toured Greece for a bit in their orange Volkswagen.
Yep. From now on, we will nickname as the Shitmobile.
Yeah, but we don't see for long because eventually they get to their Greek boat.
They get to their boat, and here's where it starts going south. Well,
they're boring.
South
They're so boring. We spent at least 20 minutes with them on their boat and they're boring. We see the pregnant woman throwing up. We see the hippie
Looks like she's getting done in the arse as well.
Yeah, it does. But this was the movie that kind of broke me a little bit. It was just that mind-numbingly bad. I couldn't make head or tail of it.
So, did it broke you even worse than when you saw how the guy in Absurd held his cigarette?
Okay, that still annoyed me. For those wondering, you hold it between your pointing finger and your middle finger. Okay? That's how it's done. You don't hold it in some weird fashion to be a hipster. You don't put it up your nostril. Hold it
do that.
normal. Yeah, there's a picture of me doing that. But I was doing it ironically, guys. Honestly. But yeah, let's not bring my personal habits into this.
But yeah, and we just spent at least 20 minutes with them on the boat, them being boring, them using tarot cards and playing guitar, which is what convinced me they were hippies.
Yeah, pretty much. And then she decided that, well, we don't really need this tarot card deck, let's just fling it into the water for some...
Barbara, we spent 15 quid on this. Why are you throwing it in the ocean?
Because it's rubbish. I saw a death card and had to get rid of the bad omen. You're a moron.
Not in the tumbler.
And she doesn't see the death card like in the traditional tarot card way. No, she was flicking through the cards and just sees it and like, I'm gonna throw them out.
Oh, there's a death card in this deck? Oh god! Oh, it'll corrupt my children. I better throw it overboard. I think we quashed the problem there.
I think that pregnant lady's going to corrupt her kid.
After what happened to that kid.
You know, I don't think that kid's going to be worrying about too much.
Rude awakening.
Quick, I'm just going to jam my whole fist up your mouth, pull your half-developed child out, and eat it in front of you. Because that's a horror film.
But it's only
Spoilers,
one bite. Doesn't
yeah.
eat the people properly.
Spoilers, guys. Well, again, if you came into this not expecting spoilers, your fault, dude. There's gonna be spoilers, and honestly, don't watch this movie. It will break you.
It's not even scary. It's just terrible.
It's just, it's
I don't
scary
even
how
like horror
terrible
movies,
it
and
is.
this was just garbage. And I'm just like, ugh.
Yeah.
For some reason, they decided to go to this abandoned island. You could have gone anywhere else in Greece, but
Could have gone anywhere in the world, and that you settled on abandoned island that people were probably murdered at.
Abandoned island number 624.
Awesome, because there are that many abandoned islands. Like you'd ever find an abandoned island in Greece. Come on, guys.
So the boat arrives, and
Couldn't afford it.
and the boat arrives, and the pregnant woman has to stay behind. The only person we actually recognize because she hurt her ankle.
Yeah, she somehow was and then proceeded to hurt her ankle. So, what wins out when you're wearing high heels?
She's not even wearing heels. She's wearing flats.
I thought she was
know it's
wearing
not
heels.
halfway through the movie. She's wearing flats.
No,
Wait,
it's
she was
not-
wearing heels
but-
at the start, though.
But we keep seeing the shoe on the island, and it was a high heel.
Yeah. So, and basically, so she's wearing
They
flats
can't
at
even
some
do
point.
shoes right.
And yeah, so she just took one high heel off and wandered around for ages with just one heel on.
And that is how you stuff up your ankles.
Dude, that's like you will put half your body out of alignment. You'd look like some weird mutant pulling themselves along.
So that's how the cannibal guy got so weird.
Yeah.
He's wearing heels on one foot.
Yep, that's why he walks like such a twonk.
And then most of the movie is spent with them.
Most of it is just wandering around.
Yeah, they wandered around the abandoned island, see this weird blonde woman that disappears, see "Go Away" written on a window.
In perfect English.
Greek people totally they all have universal knowledge of the English language and how to write.
In the middle of the 1980s? Totally.
Yep, 100%. It's just... You should all know this. It's just common knowledge.
But don't you know, in the universe, English is considered so basic that every alien knows it. So of course Greek would know.
Yeah.
Italian tourists and Greek island would know it.
Oh, well, I just feel so silly. But yes, 90% of the movie I found was literally just following them walking from boring place to boring place, occasionally spiced up with a bit of healthy murder.
There was that one bit where the two people go to kiss and then this lady chases another lady, locks her and goes...
Oh, that's later.
And that's just what the hell? And then later on they're just like, oh yeah, don't worry about it, it's fine.
Yeah, that's
You
later.
literally tried to murder them.
You
How
tried
are
to
you
kill
fine
them.
with this?
That's kind of later, but...
None of the scenes make any sense. Honestly, you could probably cut this movie, split up all the scenes, and put them back together in a random order, and it would probably make more sense than the final product did.
Yeah, but eventually, finally, we get to something interesting, a kitten playing piano.
Oh yes, and immediately following this,
A blind woman coming out of a barrel with a knife.
who somehow manages to stand the gentleman standing directly in front of her in the back. So she must have given him some weird reach-around stab. And yes, I do realise that sound weird.
The old reach around.
Ye oldie reach-aroundy. You do not do reach-arounds with a
Probably
knife, please.
some dance tango murder technique.
Yeah, she just had to... She couldn't just stab him in the front, she had to be fancy and stab him in the back. But yes, and that was about the only interesting bit we get until Dave shows up again.
And before then, more wandering.
Oh yes, but there was a lot more wandering, and then they find that blonde woman who chucked herself off a... Didn't
Not
she
quite there yet.
Didn't she? Like, I thought she hung herself, and then Dave showed up.
That's later.
I think someone threw her off, but...
Well, after all the wandering.
No, she threw herself off. But yeah, they help the blind woman out and put her in bed, and then they wander around some more. And I think
Hope you like nature walks, folks.
David Attenborough narrates this, and it's just, look at the wonderful cannibal in his natural habitat, eating children.
That would probably make a better movie.
Yeah, probably would. Just add some narration to this, and just...
didn't a sailor get his head ripped off and put in a bucket?
Oh yeah,
I thought it was just a head in a bucket, and we were really questioning how it got there, because it was just the head.
That was right before the pregnant woman got kidnapped by the cannibal.
That's right, that no one noticed. Like, they walked directly past her being dragged in the opposite direction by the cannibal and just didn't seem to notice.
And it's not
care.
like right next. The cannibal and the pregnant woman were really high up, like on a big stone fence thing, and they could have seen them.
Yeah, like, they were basically the centerpiece. Like, you would literally have to be wearing blackout goggles to be able to not see them. So apparently her friends just didn't care. My theory is they were all blitzed out of their mind on shrooms.
Well, they are in Greece.
True, and apparently that forest they were walking through for 6 years had magic mushrooms in it. So,
I think one guy got his throat ripped by Dave at some point.
Delicious.
Yeah, no, that's right. That
He's
did
thinking of
happen.
a sore throat in the morning.
Oh, I bet he would. For all the wrong reasons.
And of course,
Our old friend Dave shows up.
well, they stay at a little house for the night on the dark, stormy night.
Horror movie cliche 111, really.
And I don't know whether it was that night that there was the cock blocking, and then the woman
Cock blocking.
I think that was the night that there was cock blocking, because then she ran to the graveyard and got locked in.
by
and it
the
did-
other woman.
Yeah, and it did that weird thing where it was like some were night shots and some were day shots, just darkened to look like night.
Day for night.
Yeah, and it was just really, really confusing.
And we just spent a while with her running around, not knowing, and this movie's confusing.
Honestly, just trying to remember the order of the scenes is just like thinking about this movie gives me a headache. So
Oh yeah, they can't get off the island because somehow Dave got the boat just out on the water, and anchored it.
just
Somehow
somehow
anchored
managed
it.
to one person somehow managed to sail the boat out there, anchor it just offshore so they couldn't get to it, and then swim all the way back.
How can Dave do this, though? Because from what we've seen, he's completely lost it, so he's not even coherent enough to do anything
Exactly.
difficult, like driving a boat
Exactly.
with sails.
Like and he somehow managed to do this all on his lonesome.
Yeah.
I don't think so.
Oh, and they
somehow.
found the first time they wandered around, they found corpses everywhere. Like just
That's right. Just in the sitting in chairs and hanging out places.
And they didn't decide, oh yes, let's leave this island because there's a bunch of dead people. They're like, oh no, let's
They're
stay
like,
here.
no, dude, dead people. Ideal holiday destination, right?
Yeah, no queues.
It's just wow.
and then later on they come across this mansion. that was owned by Dave at one point.
It was... Was it his wife? No, he killed his wife.
No, wait.
It was...
Some woman, blonde woman.
It was the blonde woman they kept... Yeah, dude, it was the blonde woman they kept seeing through windows and shit.
And she hangs herself.
Yeah,
she hangs one of their friends, because I remember she's got one of the friends.
No, it was the same blonde woman.
What the hell?
It makes no sense.
Yeah, she was holding a rope, and then she flung a dummy out and hung herself.
Yeah, like, honestly, the stunt double for the hanging scene, I honestly think was made by, like, somebody cut a beanbag into the shape of a person and just half filled it with beans and threw it over the edge.
Here's a good idea. Just show me that movie, and then I will fill in as that stunt double.
Seriously, I could have made it so much better. But it was just...
And more corpses were found.
Just end the movie.
Just so many more corpses were just everywhere.
And pictures of Dave.
Dave was just hanging out in those picture frames, and yeah.
He had a fine-ass beard.
He did have a fine-ass beard going on.
That Dave looks pretty
And through those pictures, as though they were piecing together a mystery, because of course we needed a mystery of how he became a cannibal.
Because, we actually totally care
hungry.
about that.
He's like, I want to nibble, but this 7-Eleven's close. Stuff it.
I'll just eat this woman.
So yeah, apparently, he and his wife and his kid...
Or we assume it's his wife and kid.
Yeah, it could just be like two people he got shipwrecked with.
Yeah.
Yeah, out on a raft somewhere, and he decides, I'm going to stab her and eat her, and then...
He didn't even plan to stab her, he just wanted to kill the kid.
Yeah.
Although he said the kid was dead and just meat, but,
Well, she got stabbed, and then he got upset.
He went, no! I just stabbed the person with the sharp object in my hand.
I just wanted to eat a child, I didn't want anyone to get hurt.
And now that we're on a rubber life raft that could easily be punctured, I'm gonna drop the fucking knife! Because I'm a moron. Honestly. I don't understand. I don't. I don't understand this movie. I'm not going to pretend to understand this movie. I'm not even sure why I watched it.
I kind of forgot how everyone else got killed.
Basically...
Stabbed, choked.
Yeah, I think
fisted.
A few of them got stabbed.
Oh yeah, that part, yeah.
They were pretty generic deaths. They weren't very memorable.
The fisting one was pretty memorable.
Well, yeah, the fact that he fisted
that part. I think we're up to that part.
Basically, they're in the catacombs under his house.
Fun? A fact, not really fun, a fact about the catacombs. Some of the skulls and bones were plastic, some of them real. The cast and crew ended up taking some of the real bones, and the director kept them.
Huh.
What a freak.
I know, right? But yeah.
Of course, the guy behind Porn Holocaust is such a noble person.
Ugh.
I just can't anymore. It makes no sense to me that I can't fathom the mind of this man. Why he thought to direct this movie. I don't see how he saw the final product and went, yep, let's put that out there. I would have gone, oh god, it's terrible.
Apparently it was for foreign markets, and it did flop in Italy.
I bet it did.
Probably flopped everywhere else.
Yeah, do you know what else is going to flop? Me after I've killed myself after having watched that movie. Because, honestly, it was just balls to the wall terrible.
So, yeah, in the catacombs we find the pregnant woman alive.
She gets fisted by Dave.
Dave just decides, I'm a bit hungry, and again, the 7-Eleven's shut at this time, and somebody had all the donuts.
She looks like she's got a burrito ready, so
she's got a bun in the oven, so what I'm going to do is I'll stick my entire hand up there, grab hold of it, pull it out, and she's like, I think she might have died at this point.
Maybe she just passed
by choking. He
was choking her as he was pulling her fetus out. And he decided that the best course of action would be to eat said fetus in front of her.
Dave is pretty kinky, don't you reckon?
Dave's pretty hardcore. Dave
can go jump off a bridge.
The director can go jump off a bridge.
I still don't understand how Dave survived later on in the movie, though. It's like...
sometimes he can, sometimes he can't.
Like, literally...
It's just not explained.
He somehow climbed on the roof, which wasn't explained at all either.
Oh, yeah. After he killed the fetus, which isn't really a fetus, it was a skinned rabbit.
Oh.
Oh.
Well, I didn't know that.
Well, I
I now feel worse about this movie, if that was possible.
I mean,
Well, I
I've seen a
said
rabbit
it was
skinned.
an
You
animal.
did say it was an animal,
I've
but...
seen a rabbit skinned right before me before, but...
I mean, I've skinned a rabbit before, but to skin it for a movie that you were then going to take a bite out of it...
No,
Yeah.
I guess if they cook it up later.
But yeah,
Don't waste
Dave
it.
decided to chase after the virgin
baby
woman and the
nutrients.
blind woman very, very slowly.
As, you know, all horror movie villains do, I'm going to walk up one stair every sort of 5 minutes, and I might eventually catch him.
And
And
so,
yet somehow he does.
And he does.
yeah, they
Okay.
make it up.
That's the stupidest part.
Yeah, the two make it up to the attic and they just sit and stare and be boring again.
Yeah, pretty much. They would... And then he decided to spice things up by pulling one of them through the roof and
Yeah,
How did he get
biting
to
her
the roof?
throat out.
That's my question.
That's,
Jason's stalker powers.
apparently he can teleport now as well.
Yeah, Jason's
Get down here,
teleportation
stalker.
powers.
I'm here.
So yeah, he pulled the blind woman up by her hair by punching through the roof, and somehow her whole face got bloody when that happened.
I suppose it could have been, like,
It looked like her
having a
scalp was
scalp
getting torn
rip.
off. But,
Yeah, but
yeah.
the whole face like that.
but the thing I found really weird was the fact that she, the other lady, swings the pickaxe.
Oh
Gets him
yeah.
in the leg, he falls off the roof. It looks like a multiple-story house.
Well,
It's
okay, that's
it's
it.
three stories.
It wasn't really her that threw the pickaxe. I think they got chased through the garden and see one woman with a slit throat, and then fall into a well. Or both of them fall into a well.
That's right. No, he fell into the well before she did. didn't
Yeah,
he?
Yeah, he fell off the roof because he
Yeah,
got
he fell.
pickaxed in the leg.
Yeah, he got pickaxed in the leg and he fell off the roof into the well, and then
Oh.
she later winds up in it.
And
Which is
she
really
got
bogus.
her hand. She got her wrist caught in a rope when falling down, and somehow her wrist bled.
With,
Somehow
like,
she's not dead.
we assume it could have been rope burn, but like falling from the height she did, it would have just torn her arm off, and then the
or
rest of her.
dislocated it.
Yeah, like she would have been in the water with.
Yeah, they
Dave.
don't really see anything that would have caused the bleeding. Like if
There's no actual like evidence of a rope burn.
yeah, if it was a wire, that's understandable, but not a rope like that.
Spunking on me, Tidge.
If they threw something, that's all.
Yeah, no, Tidge didn't actually spunk on me. It's all right.
Not yet.
Dude, save it for later. Come on, they don't need to know our personal life. But yeah, basically,
He climbed up.
he then climbs up, and one of the dudes that we totally forgot
Well,
about.
he climbed up slowly again.
Yeah, and once he gets out, he takes a pickaxe to the stomach from one of the gentlemen that
That we
thought was
forgot,
dead.
yeah.
we forgot about him.
We
sorry,
forgot
mate.
everyone.
But after one tiny pickaxe wound in the stomach, he decides that it'd be a good idea. Hang on, oh, that looks delicious. I'll have some of that.
Is it
Starts
Zarya?
eating it, and then falls flat on his face, dead. And then we get
He never
the end.
It's like the crappiest ending ever.
with the music, like the weird circus synthesizer music everywhere.
Yeah.
It was just.
I think the ending was my favourite bit because the movie actually finished.
Yeah, and then we didn't have to watch it anymore.
Yes.
My head no longer hurt for a little while.
And he never really ate anything, he just nibbled.
Yeah,
like
he just had a nibble and then moved on. It was
This is
such
why-
a waster.
This is why the Greek economy is gone. This
It
man
was
eats-
Dave. He did it.
He's wasting food.
Exactly. What a dongle.
Ruin the economy.
But honestly, after having watched that deeply, deeply boring movie,
It was deeply fascinating. I saw so many intricacies of camera techniques, and it was shit.
it was just atrocious. We do not recommend anybody watch this. If you do not blame us.
And
We'll
if you
hold
want
you.
to check out the bit where he eats his own guts, just find a clip of it. Don't go watching the whole movie.
You will wind up bored.
Or if
Like-
you do watch it, it gets completely smashed first because it will be a great laugh.
Yeah, I imagine it would be. I wish I had a beer for this.
Did you know this had a remake?
Jesus.
Okay, this is a bit where I get up and leave. Lovely to talk to you all again. See you next episode. I'm not dealing with this.
It had a remake in 1999, so it wasn't during the time when remakes were a thing.
Remakes have always been a thing.
Well,
Yeah.
remakes have
Scarface
always
was a remake.
remakes have always been a thing, but they really became a glossy thing in the 2000s after the Texas Chainsaw Massacre remake.
Well, yeah, the current age of remakes or sequels, because
Yeah.
anything original is just no.
Yeah, because when you go to the cinema, every ad is
It's
like
too edgy.
remake, sequel, shit.
Oh, they've got that Secret Life of Pets. They're already planning a sequel. It's not even out yet, or it is out. Just
Oh, you mean Toy Story with animals?
Yeah,
That's
pretty
what
much.
it is.
they're doing
That's-
Toy Story 4 as well.
Really? Dude, Toy Story has ended. Give up. We all saw the end scene. Andy's at college. Woody's happy. Leave it there. You can't do anything else.
They'll come up with science.
So yeah,
You see that? I will go over there and strangle them with my headphone cord. I
felt like that about the new Independence Day, which is kind of.
Oh,
like,
Roland
Emmerich, but it was kind of
I hate Roland Emmerich. Ugh.
The original was good.
The original was great. That's why I felt like I saw the sequel and went, I'm not saying this, because if it's shit, it will make the original retroactively
The original was shit.
The original was great!
But it was the good kind of shit, not the shit sort of shit.
It was like the 2 hours of mindless entertainment shit, not this kind of shit.
Patriotic.
Roland Emmerich also did Anonymous, which was about the anti-Stratfordian theory about Shakespeare not actually writing Shakespeare, which is a very shit theory when you really think about it.
It's monkeys and typewriters.
Yeah. Infinite monkeys and infinite typewriters will eventually write Shakespeare.
Well, okay.
Shit.
Yeah, no, they'll just shit all over the walls and typewriters, that's what they'll do.
Apparently Roland Emmerich had no idea about the time period or anything about it so much that he thought the Tudor rose was an actual rose and depicted as an actual flower in it. It's a symbol for the Tudor reign, you idiot.
Having heard that piece of information.
So he's technically
And he also thinks that
that
the real Shakespeare was this... the whole anti-Stratfordian theory is pretty elitist. Like, they think someone who didn't get a degree and was selling mulch or something, manure or something like that, couldn't write stories. So they always depicted as a nobleman as writing Shakespeare the whole time.
What?
And Roland Emmerich thinks that the incest son of Queen Elizabeth was the real Shakespeare. It was a illegitimate son who eventually had sex with her and they had a kid.
This is, I honestly, I feel stupider knowing that. Like, knowing that there is a human that honestly believed that on Earth, I feel stupider.
Like, it was like the plotline of a really cheesy porno.
Dude, then again, we've seen...
I was talking about remakes, wasn't I?
Yeah.
Well, thinking about it, you got to get this out now, Tidge, because a quote from my good friend and co-star, I've literally watched porn with better storyline than this.
Oh, yeah. Pretty much.
And it's true.
Yeah. So yeah, this had a remake in 1989, Anthropophagous 2000.
Oh god, what did he go to space or something?
That actually sounds like a much more interesting movie.
Yeah, it probably would be.
Probably is.
Then again, it wouldn't be hard to get like a better movie than
it
this.
Wasn't. I mean, it was. It probably would be better because it wasn't by Joe DiMaggio.
Oh, thank God.
It was by the director of Violent Shit. That's an actual name of a movie.
Jeez.
Okay, I'm gonna get up and leave now. That was just.
Oh my god.
No, I refuse to live on the planet where that's a thing. Nope. Okay, anyone that wants to join me, I'll be living on Mars. Feel free to fly up here. There's plenty of chairs and there's oxygen. So
I'm selling beer.
yeah, dude, Tidge has got his pub open. So come on up, and you won't have to live on the same planet as the stupid people.
Apparently, Violent Shit got sequels.
Okay, now I'm done. No.
What, did someone give me a really cheesy pizza and record the toilet?
No.
No, I think it was just like a...
It's probably more entertaining.
Probably. Tidge, I would prefer to watch you on the toilet than a movie called Violent Shits.
I don't think it was actually about shit. I just think it was about slasher, and the sequels are all about his son.
Oh God, no, I'm done. I'm done with this. I can't deal with it. There can't be this many just terrible movies.
There are good ones we're going to see. Good ones.
Okay, well, as long as there's a few good ones, just
like the
break
Section
up.
3 ones are filled with good ones. Texas Chainsaw Massacre, The Thing. Look forward to those.
I hate Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
We totally have to get through all the rubbish ones first, though, don't we?
There are some good ones amongst them, like Dario Argento and Lucio Fulci ones amongst them.
Oh, fair enough. But I mean, really,
I'd say watch The Thing next.
I'd say
No.
We're just like decent to cleanse our palate.
We're doing it in order.
Doing it in order, Tidge. We will suffer through this, apparently. Although we've really said all we can on this movie, haven't we? Because honestly, like if you ever want a movie like as bad as this, Squat yourself down and shit one out. You'll be fine. Because honestly, you could have.
We've got better dialogue though.
Yeah, exactly.
I got something that'll make you feel better.
Go for it.
Okay.
hope
When
this
we
works.
when we were originally gonna do this in August, it was pretty much after Seamus's birthday, his 19th, and
Bye.
before then I got him a little cheap birthday present.
Oh,
Ta-da!
thank you. It's
is
a
it?
dancing devil.
Hey.
That's fantastic. Thank you.
The solar power.
This is so going on my windowsill.
The solar power one.
That's marvelous.
It's a little devil that looks like a baby.
That's great.
You gotta actually open your curtains now.
Yeah, well, no, I actually do have to open my curtains. I can't live in my eternal grotto forever. But that is marvellous. I love it.
Okay,
You're so considerate. Thank you.
its tagline, the tagline of the movie. Watch it if you dare. Do you really think that holds up?
Yeah, if you dare to watch this, you'll probably want to kill yourself afterwards.
Yeah.
Christ.
Alright.
But yeah, this has been...
Oh wait, one more thing.
Oh,
Sorry.
we must... Yeah.
The question of the day. Our last question was about what movies after the 80s do you think would have been viewing nasties if they had continued on that stupid moral panic? What movies of the past do you think would have been included? What movies do you think they missed? Like,
I can think of a few they've missed.
like not just 80s, they went further back. Like, the oldest I know is from the 1960s, but we can go further than that as well.
They could have just cut this movie off the list and just banned it entirely for being a menace to humanity.
Yeah, dude, it's a crime against cinema. It needs
Yeah.
to be stopped. But yeah, there are like a fair few movies that I do think they have missed.
I don't watch horror movies, so I don't know.
Well, it's not even horror. Things like I remember A Clockwork Orange getting banned for like the
that
longest
got
time.
that's one of the unofficial ones that got like attention, or I think section 3. I forgot which.
Yeah, no, I know Stanley Kubrick recalled it from like 1970 something till 1990 whatever. I
Yeah,
don't
during
remember
that
exact
time
dates,
he would have because of this panic.
Yeah, but yeah, it was probably the sensible thing to do because he would have got like the bollocks sued off of him. Yes, that's a thing.
What other movies do you think?
Trying to think of a few
Like 80s movies do you think they missed?
80s movies. There's a lot that came.
I reckon
out
they
in the
probably
80s.
would have banned Alien.
Yeah,
Because that table scene, like,
when
it's not even that
with
scary,
with
but
the chest burster, I reckon.
I reckon they would have banned that. Just
I
straight up.
suppose, like, yeah, no, I can agree to that. And like, obviously, pretty much any horror slasher flick.
I mean, for the time, that was pretty
it was
crazy.
pretty graphic, and
It's pretty awesome now.
to this day, like, Alien remains one of my favorite movies of all time. But yeah, like, I imagine they would have probably banned that. But
Probably
yeah,
would have got
that's
even more popular.
currently, exactly. Currently, I'm drawing a mental blank because those are the two that I can think of.
Reanimator? Bride of Reanimator?
You know, that's a good point. I finally managed to get those out of my head. I remember watching them when I was younger. But then again, there are a lot of movies, even from nowadays, that would probably get banned. Like, anything to do with religion, like The Conjuring, would have been banned because it's got so much religious imagery.
Again, future thing.
Yeah.
Well, like I said, Reanimator and Bride of Reanimator. Oh, Society, yes. Society would definitely have been banned. So, Society is this film about rich people who found a way to have even crazier sex by making they basically become this thing, but having like sex with each other.
That is really, really bizarre. And I cannot understand who thought it would be a great idea to make a film out of that.
Oh, The Stuff. The Stuff would have definitely been banned. The Stuff is this movie about not really ice cream, but it's basically the sweet treat that people have found in the ground and decided, let's sell it! And ends up eating people. And a lot of good effects with that one.
Righto.
Throw me into the sun. Just end it.
Yeah, well, I'm,
In my life.
You know, Tidge, I am with you on that one.
What else? What else? Trying to remember ones that aren't included on the list. Hammer horror films, I think, would have been included. Like, there's a reason why Kensington gore is a term. Even if the blood in those films just look bright red, like paint.
Yeah.
They swim included.
Oh, the censorship's a funny thing, because a lot of video games even have gotten away with turning blood green or white, and then it was okay. But let's
Or
be
if
honest.
in Germany you're killing robots.
Yeah, although turning blood white in a game like Mortal Kombat does not bode well, and
Oh.
it makes for some very funny,
Oh.
Or what they did with Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and just changed Ninja to Hero and took away Michelangelo's nunchucks.
What?
Why'd they take away his nunchucks? Surely they would have taken away, like, the swords they had. Nope, get the 2 little bits of wood he's got. Honestly. But yeah, that was what it was in the UK. It was Teenage Mutant Hero Turtles.
I don't remember that.
Really? No, that's what it was. When it was first a thing, like the
The
really old
80s
cartoon.
one, not the 2000s
right.
one.
I was like 2000s. It's like
No,
TMNT.
the 80s one.
Yeah, dude, TMNT was always... But yeah, it was Teenage Mutant Hero Turtles, and I remember getting the piss taken out of me for it at school, because that's what I said. Because Mum always had, like, English television. And, yeah, so I got loads of shit because England decided to call it Hero Turtles. Cheers, whoever thought that up. I got bullied for that.
Jeez.
Any trauma film before 90s and today, I think, would have been included. Like Toxic Avenger, yes.
Yeah, no, I can agree to that one.
Terra Firma, Romeo and Juliet.
I'm sure they would have probably banned some of those Rambo movies just for the gore.
Oh, they almost did. They almost did.
They would have done,
They
yeah.
were part of the controversy.
Rambo 1, 2, and 3, those things are, like, gory as all hell.
They're good.
They're good movies, I agree.
What else? James Bond movies. You would think.
He does murder an awful lot of people.
Oh, like Live Let Die. That one is a favorite of mine, but it seems like they were trying to be more like exploitation films. Like a guy literally blows up a la Big Trouble in Little China. Big Trouble in Little China, that's one.
I'd say, honestly, like, if we're in the 90s now, I reckon Fight Club would have been banned, simply because, like, dudes get shot in the head and it's all about blowing stuff up and, like, revolution. And if there's one thing your government does not want, it is that.
Scanners! Yes, I now remember anything by David Cronenberg before the 90s. Yes, The Fly, Scanners with the blowing up the head, The Brood, Videodrome, though I think Videodrome was an unofficial one. Like, they figured a movie about VHS tapes that would definitely get spotted somehow.
Oh, it certainly would. But yes, it's, well, it's been an interesting journey this week, month, whatever. It's just been, oh god, that movie it's seriously, it's broken me. I'm stuffed.
Well, I don't think we'll look at any more Joe DiMaggio films. I think
that's a good idea.
I think there aren't any more, but I could be wrong.
Well, yeah.
If there is, they need to be burned.
Well, I completely agree with you on that, Titch. But, yes. Well, it's been a lot of fun trying to analyse that hot bucket of wet shit they tried to pass off as a movie. But I suppose that's all we can really say. Well, I do hope you've all enjoyed listening to our ramblings and the witterings of the mental cases that we are.
Alright.
What happens when you watch this sort of crap?
Yeah, this is what happens to you. Don't let it happen to you, please. Save yourselves.
Hopefully Axe will be better.
Well,
I think it's Axe next.
We can only hope.
Hang
Well,
on.
hopefully whatever's on the list next will be better.
Hang on, let me check. I think it's Axe next. Could be wrong. Load. Come on, phone, load. Yeah, Axe is next.
Very fantastic.
Or also known as California Axe Massacre. Like I said, it is kind of a rip-off of Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Well, American City Massacre with a deadly weapon. Right. Sounds exciting.
Oh, might as well make a new horror movie. AR-15 Cincinnati Slaughterhouse.
Yeah, because, you know, that wouldn't be accepted poorly by certain people.
Oh, yeah.
Honestly, America just gun violence, really. But anyway, we will see you all next time.
MG32. Or MG34 Massacre.
Oh, God.
You can make a movie out of anything.
Oh, you could. But yes,
Live
we will.
action.
I assume we will see you all next time when we watch Axe.
Alright, this has been Schlock and Terror. See you later, everyone. And this episode's outro is Cannibalism by Dr. Hell.
This has been the Schlock and Terror Video Nasty Podcast, created by Lauren Fox, produced for Gogula.com and narrated by Toby Mobius, as well as produced for Channel Zero, Manic Expression, Reviewers Unite, Team Night Saturn, and RT Goma Productions. All material used is for review under the Fair Use Doctrine, and all rights belong to their original creators. Sound effects by Jacob Zia, NPO, and Panzin via freesound.org. Opening theme song by Voice of Doom.
Your head like an eggshell. I took myself, yeah.